Welcome to Georgia, here Tbilisi. This is the Parliament of Georgia. It's the beautiful flag of Georgia. Up there you can see it, and the European flag is flying high here. They want to join the European Union, and we all should say a clear yes to EU membership of Georgia. It might take some years, but they are very prepared, technically, regulatory. I think they can absolutely be in the EU in 2029. It's another 7 years. The Baltic countries did the same. We just need the political yes of the European Union. The potential EU candidate status is just fine, as Andreas Umland has argued now in the foreign policy piece, and then to move fast forward because they fulfill the conditions and they will be very pro-European country. And so we should say yes. Of course, the big problem here is the Russian influence. It's the oligarchs funded by Russia, and the political toxic environment, the failed 19th of April agreement, and so on and so on. In this video, I want to call for a European consensus of all the main parties, just the Russians out, but we should have the main parties, also Georgian Dream and European Georgia, to agree on that one. It must be like in Austria in '94, between the left and the right, the liberals and the social democrats, and the one consensus for European Union membership. And not to have Europe as a divisive, toxic issue, but as a clear issue of membership. And we should have, and that was why I think there was also a lot of Russian meddling, but why when on 19th of July 2021, there was the Batumi agreement of the accession trio. Immediately later then Russia has put a lot of pressure on Georgia, I understand that. Then came again this toxic phase, leading then to EU intervention politically, like in Macedonia. It was very good model, and Danielson and Michel were right to do it. There was this agreement, and then there is now the blame game, who is responsible for breaking it. But the problem is, in my view, of course, everything is Russia, but it's very much to blame the European Union and the West, because we couldn't offer something concrete. I said already then, let's offer Georgia the euro as currency to seal the deal. Then we don't want to have NATO, because in Macedonia we offered NATO membership as to seal the deal. Then it was also possible to have the name change, to have the political changes, the regime change. All these things were possible in North Macedonia because we had the incentive of NATO membership, and so external security is provided. So there was this consensus. And of course, then the government now is grumbling. Why? Because we don't offer the EU clarity, and we have also to offer the start of the EU negotiations for Macedonia. And that's actually very similar countries. So Macedonia and Georgia. So what is needed here is an offer from the European Union that there is a EU candidate status perspective, and there is a clear date to join when they are ready. Of course, they have to fulfill everything. Then to be the euro, and that's also very good to have that opportunity. It's just a bit loud, I will go to this one. And then we have a real European future and a European consensus, which is also then very clearly supported by all political parties. That's what I call the need for a consensus. The consensus is required. I'm calling for the 19th of June to make a demonstration here for Europe, but all political parties united. Now the opposition will do one on the 20th of June, and there is, Europe shouldn't be a divisive issue, but a uniting issue, because Europe is for all parties. Europe is for everybody. The EU is for everybody, for the farmers, for the workers, for the business, for the SMEs, for the politicians, for the local governments, for the youth, for the old. Europe is for all political parties. Only the Russian agents hate it. And so I call for that one. And I call for the EU to get serious with Georgia, Ukraine and Moldova on the 23rd of June, because that's the way to make peace in Europe by the European Union membership. And this we can offer, and of course to have the euro for Georgia and Ukraine fast, because that's a very visible symbol of unity, and it worked so well in Ukraine and in Montenegro and in Kosovo. Now it's very hot. I will take off my jacket now very soon and have a bit of a coffee, because my voice is already a bit hoarse from repeating that Georgia must be in the European Union, and the French shall not stop that, and all others who are so against Georgia. This is a big mistake. We need a clarity. The people here have deserved it. That is also giving stability and prosperity and security, and wars are so expensive. If they had listened to me and got Ukraine into the EU and have a clarity already 2017 at the Eastern Partnership Summit, we would have saved billions of European taxpayer money, because it's so expensive, and it's very annoying, frustrating that European appeasement costs European taxpayers hundreds of billions of euros now in the damage and the human suffering and all the political consequences, the energy shock and the global shocks of our failed policy from Syria to Russia. We are paying so much because of French appeasement and German kind of lack of strategic vision what to do with Europe, and that's very expensive. So thanks a lot for listening. I call for a European Union membership here for Georgia. Have wisdom and courage, Europe, and let's be united. That's the best answer to Russian war of aggression. It was always like this. It will always be unity matters most at this moment. Let Georgia into the European Union, and it is very beneficial for all sides. Thanks a lot. More to come from Pax Europiana. Bye.